died.
That heroin culture is a strange culture. The heroin musician culture is very, very strange because it's very prevalent amongst elite musicians. You know, in terms of like, you look at the guys that we all worship, like Hendrix did heroin. Morrison most likely did heroin, right? I mean, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain did heroin. Yeah. Lane Staley did heroin.
The guy from Blind Melon, the lead singer of Blind Melon. Yeah. He died of heroin, I think, too. Yeah,
it's so prevalent, man. It's so prevalent. It's just like you know.
That's
you
one thing.
You gotta wonder, like, what is it about heroin and music? Like, there's something about there's probably a feel to it or something.
I think it's a place they want to go. So I think they're writing, but they feel like, yo, if I do this, I can go even to another level. Like, I don't know. I mean, I can ask Jerry, the guitar player. He'd be a great guy to have on your show. Jerry Cantrell. Ask him how Lane came up with those lyrics. I don't know.
If there's something, I think there's something to heroin and its effects on people that we're looking at it only in a negative way. I've never done heroin, but I did do a morphine drip once when I had my knee surgery, and it was amazing. So I would imagine heroin feels fucking great. But there was a guy that I knew that was a pool hustler. He was like a big-time pool player in Connecticut, in the East Coast, and his name was Water Dog. They'd call him Buffalo Bill or Water Dog. And this guy was a heroin addict, and he would go into the bathroom and he would shoot heroin. And after he'd shot heroin, he would sit on the bar stool like this. He would sit at one of those billiards chairs. He would sit there like this.
Oh my God.
I'm not kidding. For like 15, 20 minutes, just sit there like this.
Wow.
And then when he got out, he couldn't miss a ball. He couldn't miss. So he was gambling for thousands of dollars. There was all these people yelling and screaming. There was so much money involved because it's like this guy who was like a local gambler, George the Greek, was playing against him, and there was a lot of money being bet on this, thousands of dollars. And this fucking guy couldn't miss. He had eyes like a shark, like just like his pupils were fully dilated, and he was just firing balls in. Like he could see where the ball was going with pinpoint precision. It was wild to watch. And I was like, what the fuck is going on with heroin? Like how do so many musicians create amazing works of art with it? How do so many, like Mitch Hedberg loved heroin? You know, he's like one of the funniest guys that's ever lived. Like what is it about that drug?
Maybe I should do heroin. No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, I know. I
definitely don't want to do it. I'm scared. But I'm wondering, like, what is it about?
Are you scared because if you did it, you'd really dig it?
Or, yeah. I don't want to do anything that I would really like that can eventually kill you.
Right. You couldn't just like, oh, I'm just going to try it?
No, it doesn't seem like a try thing. Heroin seems like it's like...
What about coke? Have you ever done coke?
No, never done coke.
Really?
No, never done coke. No one believes that, which is very insulting because I tell the truth about everything. But that is the one that I avoided it because when I was a kid, I had a friend whose cousin was selling it, and his life fell apart. I watched his life fall apart. I knew him before that, and then watching him afterwards, I was like, "Fuck, man, stay away from coke."
Do you think if you did it, you would want to do it some more, or you just?
I'm sure I would love it. Yeah,
right.
I'm sure I'd love it. Yeah. I think everybody loves it. There's certain things that a man's got to know his limitations. You know, stay away from things like coke.
What about
also like? Artistically, I'm not interested in anything that makes me more comfortable. I'm interested in things that make me less comfortable. I'm interested in things that make me less secure. That's why I like weed, because it makes you like analyze your behavior more. You know, and see the faults in your own stuff because you're kind of looking at things almost semi-paranoid.
When you write, do you smoke a doobie?
Yeah. Yeah, when I write
before?
Yeah.
And what's your writing process?
Depends on what time it is. If it's at night and I'm leaving a club, I won't smoke anything. I'm already probably a little high, and I'll just sit in front of the computer and I just start writing. Just start writing. Yeah. Just try to find anything. And all I'm looking for is like paragraphs that I can extract. I'm looking for a premise. And some of my best bits have come out of that, just like forcing it. And then once I force an idea, like get something down, then I start dissecting it and chopping it up, and then get it to a place where I feel like this is funny enough. I know where it's going enough that I can talk about it on